Last year on March 22nd, I was admitted to the hospital. I was 22 weeks pregnant and my blood pressure was through the roof. It was like 181/110. They were basically prepping to deliver me at 22 weeks and basically preparing us to let our baby pass away in our arms. And I think Austin and I were still like, we didn't think anything of it. We're like, okay, they'll probably like put me on blood pressure meds and like they'll probably tell me to take it easy, because in your head, like especially with your first pregnancy, I feel like you always think things are like worse than they actually are. And so usually your doctor's like, no, you're fine, like don't worry about it. So we were honestly like, even when we were in triage, we were still like joking around and like I was like dancing in the hospital gown and we were just like making funny jokes. And then like everything just kind of changed when the doctor came in and he said, you're not leaving this hospital until you have your baby. And I was 22 weeks on the day, and so they diagnosed me with preeclampsia. I was able to make it to 25 weeks. And then at 25 weeks, my body started to shut down. My kidneys and liver started to slowly shut down, and we didn't have a choice. We had to deliver little Ryker, and we suffered with infertility for several years. I did treatments here in Springfield, and every treatment failed. Just the fact that that he was an IVF baby, like we worked so hard to get pregnant, and to have someone tell you that like it's possibly not gonna work out, is like our whole world was like caving in on us, and we were truly living a nightmare that our baby was probably not gonna make it. So it was really hard. He was born 1 pound 13 ounces and quickly dropped to 1 pound 6 ounces. So we knew it was like the very start of a really long road ahead. I got a message from Michelle, I think like a couple of days after I delivered, and she messaged me personally and wanted to know if there was anything that she could do for us, or if we wanted to use the services that On Angel's Wings provides. And they were just so great to us. We had them at Cox, and we were only there for 2 weeks, I guess, and then we got transferred to St. Louis. We got transferred to Cardinal Glennon, and that's where we stayed the remainder of our NICU stay, and I guess for the next 4 months. And they were just so great to us. And when we were graduating from the NICU, I messaged Michelle. I was like, can you come? And it was like 2 days notice, and she was just so great to have a photographer come and capture those celebration moments for us of leaving the NICU. And the nurses and doctors and staff at Cardinal Glennon made it so special. They like, when you graduate from the NICU there, they like actually put on like a party and graduation. So it was great to have that documented for us. On Angel's Wings is just such a great support system. And not only do they provide photography services, which I think is like so important, especially when you don't know if your baby's gonna live or not, but they just provide such an amazing support system and a place where you can like safely talk to other women and moms who have gone through similar circumstances. And I just think that is like so amazing to have that like support system whenever you've gone through something traumatic like this. He's a little miracle, but he was feisty from day one, so he's still feisty. I think I started photography just as a hobby. It kind of just grew into a full-time business. I used to be a middle school teacher, and whenever I couldn't do both, I was just so busy, I decided to pursue photography full-time, and I've been doing it for about 5 years now. Just whenever On Angel's Wings came to us at that NICU graduation, I I remember thinking to myself as we were leaving, like I wanted to help other families in any way that I could who were going through this as well. And then Michelle reached out to me like a couple days later and asked if I would volunteer, and I was like, well, that's my answer. So I've been doing it ever since we got home, and it's been amazing. It's been hard at times, but completely rewarding. I think that the fact that I can go to a NICU shoot or a graduation NICU celebration or even an infant loss, I feel like I have that connection with the families that I can really tell them that I understand what they're going through, and just kind of like, sometimes you don't even have to really say a whole lot, but just being there for them and telling them that if they need anything, that I'm here for them, and just to provide that service of photography, especially with infant loss, I think is so important. I don't know, I'm so passionate about it because I think I've been there, and I want to help other families with their journey and trials as well. So it's been really rewarding. I always try to tell myself it's not about me. Especially like doing my first infant loss session, the baby and mother had passed away. I would just encourage other people, if they're scared to do this, just to remember that it's much bigger than our emotions. Like, the whole purpose of this is so much bigger than what we can imagine, and sometimes you have to put yourself and your feelings aside to help someone out, and like when you do that, you grow so much more. It's been hard for me to go to the NICU where there's lots of triggers of trauma, and especially when Ryker was first born. And there's obviously triggers with going to infant loss sessions, but I try to put my emotions to the side to do this service for the family. And that's where I've seen the most growth in myself, and I feel like I've been able to overcome some trauma, and just like, it feels weird to say PTSD, but that families do go through PTSD whenever you go through something so humongous, like, you know, losing your baby or almost losing your baby, or just being in the NICU for even a couple of weeks. I mean, that is trauma. So I would just tell those people who are kind of nervous about it that the mission of this is so much more important than like what you're feeling right now. I don't think people really understand that like those photos are the only photos that the family's gonna get. So for me, it's like, how could I not do it? And they're gonna be cherished by the family for the rest of their life, so it's very important. No matter what happens in life, that I'm going to appreciate the blessings that I've gotten, and because we have been so blessed as a family, that I am going to try my hardest to help other people who need the support, the photography, whatever they need. I just feel like it's my duty to kind of give back and support those people as well. Gonna tell us a story? No.